God still does wonders.
I don't know how God did it, but He came through for me.
God did it, and I'm so grateful.
The operation was done, and it was so successful that within a week, I started working with my legs. I started moving.
Coming up on God Did It Today, a happy ending to many years of pain and anguish. Our sister Anita Okonofoa today shared with us the compelling story of how she survived being paralyzed after a total of 10 surgeries on her leg. Plus, as we celebrate the rare gem that our senior pastor, Reverend Larry Oluche, is to us here in the Heritage House, we'll also get to hear an inspiring story from our sister Edidion Udo, who is right now in Canada, testify of how the ministry of our senior pastor has been a blessing to her life. Hello and a happy Thanksgiving to you. It's my pleasure to be with you on this very special edition of God Did It. I am Adenode Inko Ogiga. Thanks for joining me. Now let's kickstart today with Anita's testimony. Many years ago, as an undergraduate student, she had a very fatal accident that fractured both the two of her legs and almost took her life. Since then, she's had to deal with the difficulties caused by the incident. In this interview, she recounts her experience over the years and how she found succor in the House on the Rock Port Harcourt family.
Well, I went into multiple major surgeries from Lagos to Enugu to Port Harcourt. I was just everywhere to get my legs back. You know, when some doctors even had to give up on your case. Well, thank God, I actually had the 8th surgery done, and I was able to go back to school, finish up, went for my service, February this year. This time it wasn't just pain, it was like fire all over my laps, my legs. I came back here, as God may have it, being rushed to the hospital, minister drugs. My doctor now came up like, I need to do a hip replacement surgery, and if that is done, I could use the leg again. Wow, okay, fine. And how much is this, the cost of this surgery? Only for us to find out, like, the amount was 3 million. 3 what? Where to start with? Where in this world would Blessing Anita get 3 million? I was going so weak in the hospital. I couldn't do anything. I've already given up everything and all that. Just one day, the Holy Spirit just ministered to me, call your pastor. I was like, okay, fine. If I'll even call my pastor, yes, he's my guy, I'll call him. I don't even have his number. So how will I reach him? And the Holy Spirit still said, you can call Pastor Otu. And fine, I have his number. Yes, I did call him. I called him, Lord and behold, just one ring, and that was it. He answered me. The words that were coming out from him was just words of, comfort all through. And I was calm within the spirit. And the next morning, Brother Marcos actually called me. Anita, my sister, why didn't you tell me you were in the hospital? How do you know? I didn't even mention it to you. It was like, Pastor prayed for you. Pastor prayed with Pastor Larry every Friday in the morning. He mentioned your case and he prayed. I was like, seriously? Church members keep coming every now and then. Women to women. Pastor Angela came. Everybody, the SOS, they keep coming to pray for me. Dr. Okoro and the wife came. Wow. Pastor Kelechi took my pain as if he was his own. Church was so helpful that they even opened an account for me. 80% of the bill was paid from this church, House on the Rock. What kind of a love is that? The operation was done, and it was so successful that within a week, I started working with my legs. I started moving, and here am I, dancing to the glory of God. I just want to thank everybody. House on the Rock, thank you. Your sister Anita, she's back to her feet. She's dancing now.
What a beautiful testimony. We indeed join you, our dear sister, in thanking God for giving you the victory at last. Moving on, let's now join our sister Edidiong Udo as she recounts her own God Did It story. Take a listen.
In 2019, after a year in my post-secondary school education, I decided to drop out and pursue my study abroad journey. I tried out 3 countries, learned the languages that were required, got my admission, but I always had visa issues. With faith, I decided to try one more country, Canada, but this time I decided to apply to only just one university. As God would have it, I got my admission in October 2020 to start in January 2021, and I had to apply for my visa in November 2020. This time around, I was so confident I was going to travel, so I had to start my classes online in January 2021. But a week or 2 after my admission, I got a letter from the embassy that was denied. And I was so devastated. I wept like never before. I wept to God. I was like, God, why is all this happening to me? But then I joined every Friday morning prayers, and Pastor instilled faith in my heart. So with every word from Pastor Larry, the Holy Spirit encouraged me to reapply. I reapplied in May 2021, and I named my document file, God Did It. The Sunday after the meeting with the embassy was the day the faith series began. And believe me, I was truly blessed. I felt as if every pastor who preached during the faith series was speaking directly to me. In June 2022, there was a meeting with the embassy, and they suggested that if your application has been open for a year, that you should consider withdrawing it and reapplying. And I was shocked. I cannot come this far to withdraw. I have to have an answer from the embassy. I have to know why my application had to wait this long. So I decided not to withdraw my application, and a month later, in August 2022, I received a favorable response from the Canadian embassy. What took others 3 months took me 15 months because I knew God was preparing me for something great. And as I waited, I grew in faith and knowledge of God. God bless you, Pastor Larry. You are truly the angel God sent to House on the Rock.
Absolutely remarkable. With God, nothing is impossible. All we need is the faith to believe, even against all odds. Here is wishing you a Edidiong success in all your endeavors right there in Canada. But that's all we have time for on God Did It today. Many thanks indeed for your time. Do recall that you can also share your testimonies here on this platform. To do so, simply send an email to goddidit@hotrportharcourt.com. Once again, it's goddidit@hotrportharcourt.com. I am Atenod Inku Ogiga again saying a very happy Thanksgiving to you and to our dear senior pastor. A beautiful appreciation service from all of us here on Heritage News. Let's return now to Bright Ayos here for the rest of the news, please.